let's get to it. So first off, I have my scale because with a bubbly, fresh starter, it's actually suggested very strongly to weigh your ingredients versus measuring ingredients so that it's more accurate with the amount that you need. So to get started, I'm just going to turn on my scale and I'm going to zero out my bowl so it doesn't take that weight into effect. So my recipe calls for 5.35 ounces of starter. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and use my small bowl here and just simply pour it into the bowl. Hold on a second. Wow. There it goes. Okay. There we go, right on the dot, 5:35. Okay, and now I'm gonna just scrape this into my bigger bowl here that I'm gonna be mixing everything into. I could have just measured it straight into this bowl, but you know, oh well, too late now. All right, put this guy back up there. And now I'm gonna get 8.80 ounces of warm water. Okay, so 8.80 ounces of water. Oh, I went over. There's 8.7, a little bit more. Oh, 8.5. 8.85. Let's see if we can get that down. 8.80. All right. So I'm going to add that to my big bowl. And now for the olive oil, I'm actually going to use my pesto infused olive oil so that it has slightly different flavor than just plain olive oil. And for that, I'm going to use 0.90 ounces of olive oil. I'm not going to shake it up or anything. I'm just going to leave whatever comes out kind of thing, as far as the seasonings that's in there with it. I'm mostly looking to just get the olive oil, not the seasonings. There we go. 0.90 ounces. Oh, that already smells so good. I love that pesto olive oil. It's yummy. So I'm just gonna whisk those three things together. My starter, my warm water, and my olive oil. Okay, and now I'm gonna add 0.4 ounces of salt. And it's not just any salt, you wanna use a fine sea salt. This is the kind I got. This is actually a new discovery. This is a place up in Louisville, Kentucky, and they have like a whole butcher shop, and it's like a Mexican restaurant combined. It's a really fun place. Probably should have cleaned out my bowl here, but oh well. We'll just have to scrape it out real good. Oh, and there goes a big chunk of it. I should have put the lid back on and used the pour spout. Just collect what's on top. Real life kitchen, folks. Can't reiterate that enough. You're gonna see my pitfalls, you're gonna see my stumbles as I'm learning all these things. Now we're gonna get that into our starter here too. Scrape my bowl out a little bit where it's stuck to the other ingredients. There we go. And we'll add that to our whisk. So the recipe that I'm using also calls for bread flour. And there is a difference between using bread flour and all-purpose flour, but I'm a rebel, so I'm gonna stick to what I got and just use the all-purpose flour. It might end up being slightly different in how it rises, but it'll still taste good. So we're gonna stick with that. All right, I am gonna wash this out now and dry it out a little bit, so bear with me. All right, we're back. And for the flour, we're going to measure out 17.65 ounces of flour. And I've already kind of pre-sifted this flour too, just so you're aware. Kind of fluffed it up in the bag a little bit. And now we're just getting that right measurement of how much we need. It's about 4 cups of flour, if I read it right. Which I think I might just barely have it. And I got it. Just barely enough. All right, folks. Yay, win for me today. Okay, let's mix this in. And we'll get our first rise going. I so love the way this smells in here, you guys. It's amazing. I love it with a passion. It's gonna taste so yummy. Ooh, speaking of yummy, I have some rosemary in my fridge too. Some fresh rosemary. Oh, I bet that would be so good. We're just about mixed in, you guys. Look at that. This is gonna be my bread. Yummy, yummy bread. I'm so excited. So I think I am gonna go ahead and chop up a little bit of rosemary and just add it in there just 'cause. This is gonna make it smell so divine. Smells so good. Just get this whole sprig, sprout, whatever you call it. This whole little piece. Just take all the little leaves off. Okay. Just gonna work that into it. Guess we can do that outside of the bowl. I don't want to overwork the dough though. Just kind of combine it as best I can, because it needs to rest and rise. But I kind of want it to be even too, so. I should have put that in when I put the flour and mixed it all together at once instead of last minute. But you live and learn. All right, there we go. Now we're just gonna set it aside and let it rise. I have let my dough sit in the microwave. Oh, by the way, I did put a very damp cloth over it while it was resting. So I'm just gonna turn this sucker out. There we go. And I let it rest in the microwave for like 7 hours. So it didn't get as big as I thought it would, but that's okay. Now I'm just gonna work it, folding the edges into the center a few times. And then we're gonna let this set for 1 more hour. And then we will get it in the oven. And just do some shaping here. And I'm just kind of tucking the sides under. And we'll pinch that all together. All right, flip it back over. And we're gonna let it rest on some parchment paper this time, instead of in our bowl. And with this parchment paper, I will put that just directly into the Dutch oven. And we'll let it rise for 1 more hour and then we'll get it in the oven. All right, we did our last hour of sitting and rising. So now I'm just gonna put a few lines in here. And then we're gonna put our lid back on, stick it in the oven. All right, we're gonna stick this in the oven with the lid on for 20 minutes. And then we'll remove the lid. Okay, our 20 minutes is up, so I'm just gonna remove my lid. And then we are going to cook. I can get a grip on it. And then we're gonna cook without the lid for 40 minutes, or at least until golden brown. Ooh, that looks nice. Not too shabby.